Hello, all my crafty people out there. It is time for this week's project. If you haven't been here before, my name is Stephanie and I upcycle clothing, generally items from my local thrift stores. And sometimes we make new clothes and sometimes we make accessories. So, this week I have been very inspired by the little bell bottom pants that I made for my granddaughters for the parade. So I've decided, Oma needs a pair too. I am wearing a pair of jeans that I've had for a bit. They fit pretty good. Nothing fancy about them. I think they're riders, but they're too long. And so I was going to lop them off anyway. So let's put some bright yellow inserts into the sides. And I'm going to do these probably pretty far above the knee. Maybe not too far, but above the knee. And we're going to make use of these pretty interesting panels that are in the skirt. And I don't think it'll take but one side because I don't want to replace the leg. I just want to put inserts in. And we're going to make it kind of simple, but it'll be fun to wear for the festival season. And I think we'll have a good time. If you like this kind of content or you want to give it a try, see if I can do it, follow along, like, subscribe, let me know what you think, and don't forget to share. I'll see y'all at the table. All right, the first thing we've got to decide is how much of this dress we're going to need. And I really do think we'll only need one side. It's a very small dress. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think we'll need more than one side. And this particular side has 4 complete panels. And so we could get 2 for each leg. And that would be, I think, more than enough. It's 10 inches. Each side would be 10 inches that we would be adding to the pants leg. And the jeans are skinny legs, so we can add away. It's not going to hurt anything. It'll only help. So I'm going to cut this up first. And all I'm going to do to really start it out is just cut it up the sides. I want to preserve as much of this panel as I can so I have the freedom to put as much in the jeans as I want. So let me get to cutting this up and then we'll decide how much of the jeans we're going to cut up sidewise. Okay, I tried the jeans on, and oddly enough, I don't have as much that I want to take off the bottom when I put this panel in, because the boots that I would wear would accommodate this length, but the problem is they're so thin in the legs. They say they're, I think they're just straight legs. They're not boot cut. So I'm going to take a little bit off the end when I add this, but not much. So it won't be a big difference in the length. But you can make a big difference in the length. You can change it up any way you want. I'll probably accommodate the length once I get the panel in and just zip it around and cut off the bottom and let it fray. Because this is a fair amount of cotton. It doesn't have a whole lot of stretch. So it's good. It doesn't have a lot of spandex. That means it'll fray better. I pinned it where I want it to stop. So I'm going pretty high up the leg, up the side of my leg, where I want it to start. And I'm going to do a V just like we did with the denim skirt and putting the scarf in. We're just going to V it down. Now this fabric is stable enough, I think, and substantial enough. It doesn't have any stretch like the scarf did, so it shouldn't need any kind of stabilizing. I'm going to mark, as soon as I can find it, up here where I want the V to start from top down right up here. So that will help me. And now I'm going to take this off, mark the other side, and then we'll get to, I'm going to just seam rip the sides open because I want to maintain this this seam so I can sew it down to the excess fabric we're adding in without it fraying. You could do a frayed open hem if you wanted, or open seam. I just don't care for that look on these particular projects. I like the closed seam. I think it looks a lot more finished. So let me get to seam ripping. Jean split up the side to the point where we want to add the panel, and I just finger pressed this crease here. It's a light cotton. It's almost like a it's very light actually, but we're going to cut down the center of this design and all the way up to make sure we get 2 of these pretty panels for each of our legs, and that will just be a little cutting. Alright, I've split the sides up, as you can see, and I split them up to, it's like 24.5 inches, close. I took my whole ruler here and just stick it in the opening, and you can see that it runs the full length of the ruler, which this is a 24-inch ruler, but this little lip is probably a good 1/2 inch. So anyway, point is, this and this are exactly the same. So now I have to figure out what I need for the insert. And let me get my scissors back over here. What I did is, I know I've got to have 24 inches to meet each side. So I measured 24 inches here. First I measured how wide the folded piece of fabric is at the bottom. So I folded this fabric, make sure that all of my designs lined up as best I could. And then I measured how wide this was. This is the bottom. And then I know I've got enough for the top. I'm going to start right below that fan, that scallop, because I want this solid piece to meet the jeans. So this is about what I've got, and it should be perfect for the insert. So that's what I'm going to cut. And again, this is the 24 inches that I needed to meet, or 24.5. Goes up to that line. Now I went ahead, I'm going to finish the point out just to give me some extra security in inserting it. But the 24.5 inches matches what I've got opening wise on the jeans. Now let me cut these 2 little yellow pieces out, and then we'll go to inserting. Okay, I've got the jeans turned inside out, and I am putting my panels into the split by turning the seam back in like it was already sewn, so it'll create a nice finished edge on the outside. And I am pinning the right side of my lace or insert to that seam line. So when you turn it out, all you'll see is the right side with that nice finished edge. So I'm going to pin one side and sew it, and then I will pin the second side and sew it. I don't want to deal with double the pins because that starts to hurt. So let's go to the machine, sew these panels in, and we should be able to try it on. It's a quick project. just to fair warn you, when you're sewing up the other side, if you choose to continue with the finished seams like I have, you're going to have to roll the jean leg as you go up. It's going to be tight. It's a pain in the tail. But if you want it to look this way, you got to do the time. So, again, it's just, and I start from the bottom. And that keeps it from getting too wild and crazy. There's no choice, actually, but to start from the bottom, I don't think, when you're doing it this way. But I'm just keeping that seam together right there. And rolling down. And I can only do a few inches at a time. And then I have to roll the pants. Make sure you don't have anything underneath. You don't want to catch your pants twice. Or any of your fabric. Like that. And anyway, you just kind of keep rolling. And that will take you up the pants leg. Like that. Gets tight. All right, all my crafty friends. Pretty excited about the way these came. Hope you can see them. The panels worked out really great. And yes, they're tight to put in if you want to keep that finished look. But if you don't and you want the seams to come out, it's a little easier because then you can just zip down them. But pretty jazzed about it. These will be worn tomorrow in the school parade. And of course I'll be sporting my Mardi Gras jacket too. So excited about that. All right, I hope y'all had a fun time. It's an easy project. It's a little squiffy getting in that leg, and the higher up you go on the leg, the more squiffy. But if you were going to do a flare right from the knee down, it wouldn't be too bad. So if you like it, subscribe, like, share, comment. Let me know what you think. And I will catch y'all on the flip side of our next project.